So from Nupur in India, from Jeremiah in Liberia, from Tapi in South Africa, from Polui right now in Madagascar, we've went across to visit some of our dedoc voices in the areas to talk about access to diabetes care. We went a little bit over time, but I thought it was very, very well worth it. I think we'll have to cut the panel discussion a bit short, but let me get back to Priyanka, if you're still there, Priyanka. Hearing from our dedoc voices, and as they're reporting about the situation on the ground, hearing from the advocates from T1 International before, how do you expect the T1D index will help advocates like these to become more effective in what they work, in what they do?
Thanks, Bastian, and thank you everyone for sharing your experiences. And you're absolutely right, Bastian, that's what we want to do. The T1D index is actually, we hope, will become a tool that these advocates on the ground can use to actually demand change. Because as everyone's shared from all their different experiences, there's huge gaps around, and huge variation in the quality of care that people living with type 1 diabetes can access. And part of what the T1D index will do is support people through resources that we will be pooling from, not just JDRF's Beyond Type 1, Life for a Child's work, but any other good resource and information that we have will make it available through the Type 1 Diabetes website. And we want these organizations and these advocates that exist to come together in this global network. So where we can encourage it, peer support, working, sharing knowledge, and sort of banding together to share the tactics that work, so that, where, we can drive change, say experiences in Mali, if they can help someone in a different African country, and we are working with organizations in India as well. So, we take all these ideas and sort of cross-pollinate them to make sure that together as a global community, we can get the best outcomes for the type 1 diabetes community.
Thank you, Priyanka. And as I said before, we really look forward to seeing that toolkit, that T1D index launch, and then work with it across the globe. Liz, if I can get to you as well. We've seen quite a few comments now coming in of people who want to get involved, who want to do something. And we mentioned it before, I think you developed this toolkit. What would be your advice on how to start? Because there's many people who say, what actually does it mean to be an advocate, and where does one start? And you have a lot of experience in that. What's the one thing you would tell people, where and how do you start?
Yes, I would say anyone can be an advocate. You just have to dive in. And whether you have many hours every day or a very little bit of time, I'd say the best place to start is the T1 International website. We have a whole section of resources. And if you go on the website and you still feel a little bit overwhelmed, you can reach out directly to our team at contact@t1international.com. And we can point you in the right direction, depending on what you're most passionate about in terms of advocacy, whether that's doing a little bit on social media at first, or we're actually creating a very tangible plan. Our toolkit and advocacy tools really help you lay out how to make a step-by-step plan and to get the support from us to not be as overwhelmed. We also just launched a very short, it's about 40 minutes in total, a video that you can watch that, again, kind of lays out some initial steps of how you can start to advocate wherever you are. So I know you said one thing, that's a couple different options, but really, really keen to have anyone and everyone dive in and support all these causes here today. And ours is one way to do that.
And peer support in general is so strong, just reaching out to others already active wherever they are by Twitter,
exactly.
Facebook. This is where we come from, this peer support, just supporting each other, and then it kind of goes on and on. Paying it forward, as we call it, is so powerful. Emma, let's get to you as for the last words here. Apart from joining the Blue Balloon Challenge, of course, which will contribute more funding to Life for a Child, what else can people do to support your work, to raise awareness after hearing all of this?
Oh, thank you, Bastian. No, I think there are a multitude of things that people can do. We can be followed on our Instagram page. We can be reached out to by volunteers who are keen to get involved. whether you're a person living with diabetes who's keen on making local kind of impact on the fundraising side of things, whether you're a person living with diabetes who may have some skills in the healthcare professional setting, we are reached out to by many healthcare professionals who are keen to kind of apply their expertise in local settings. And I'd just like to also talk about our art competition, which is live now on our website. We've received a number of entries for an art competition that we have put together, where young people who are supported by the Life for a Child program have put together a visual, written, or even vocal depiction of what their lives are like living with diabetes. And so we've put those entries up on our website, and that is now open for a kind of public voting. And I would encourage people to have a look at that and vote on their favorites.
And that will certainly do. Thank you, Emma. Now, I have to apologize for going over time again. This happens to me at almost every doc day, I think, but I hope you found it worth it. Everybody contributing, everybody watching it. This concludes our very special, first ever special edition on World Diabetes Day, our doc day. I have a couple of thank yous. First of all, I would like to thank IDF Europe for co-hosting this event with us, Elizabeth and Niti in particular. I would like to thank our many partners. First of all, Medtronic and Mirai with their Blue Balloon Challenge, and then Lily and Antonella was speaking here about the Leonard Award, both of them doing massive contributions to Life for a Child, the organization we just heard from. I would like to thank the Diabetes Center in Bern and Marlin, who was presenting the Innovation Challenge. It was great to be your community partner throughout this year. I would also like to thank Diaboloop. They have been supporting this event specifically. Thank you very much for making this possible for us to be here, host this event, broadcast live. Diaboloop in France. I would also like to thank all our Doc Day speakers. So that's Niti and Emma and Priyanka and Liz specifically. And of course, all our advocates and the dedoc voices, the advocates we've heard from T1 International and the dedoc voices in Europe and around the world. You've heard it before. Here at dedoc, we believe that everyone can be an advocate. This is why we created this dedoc Voices Scholarship Program. If you haven't heard about it yet, please do check it out on dedoc.org on our website, and maybe you will apply next year to join us on one of the diabetes conferences. For everybody watching, I hope you enjoy Doc Day. Please follow us on our socials on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have a lot of exciting things coming up in the next year, more campaigns, more Doc Days, and a couple of surprises in store. This is dedoc. This was Doc Day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.